Last November, Noah Gragson had just completed an amazing Xfinity Series season, winning 8 races, 21 top 5s, 26 top 10s, but coming up short in the championship race to Ty Gibbs. He would be moving up to the Cup Series full-time in 2023, and many expected a competitive Rookie of the Year battle between Gragson and Gibbs. But just 10 months later, Noah Gragson is about to be dropped by his team, is facing an indefinite suspension, and his Cup Series career is now in jeopardy. Off-track issues aside, his on-track performances haven't been much better, as he sits in last place among full-time drivers. If you were in a 10-month coma, you're probably thinking, what the hell happened? So today, we're going to be looking at Noah Gragson's rookie season, but also comparing it to other rough rookie seasons in the past. So hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a carbon copy of Black Flags Matters video. Anyways, let's get into it. In August of 2022, it was announced that Noah Gragson would be driving full-time in the Cup Series the next year, replacing Ty Dillon in the 42 car at Petty GMS. Ty Dillon never showed much promise in that car, as he scored just one top 10 and finished 29th in points. However, his teammate Eric Jones was really starting to turn some heads in the 43 car. With 3 top 5s, 13 top 10s, Eric Jones consistently showed speed at nearly every track, which ultimately led him to winning the Southern 500. Petty GMS was a solid team, and many thought that Noah Gragson could raise the level of the 42, and that this team could bring the Petty name back to glory. Things would quickly change, as in November that year, Jimmy Johnson was announced as a new owner of the team, and by January 2023, the team would be rebranded to Legacy Motor Club. And this is where things start to get ugly. In 2023, Noah Gragson has had 6 DNFs, which is currently tied for most in the Cup Series with Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson. Besides the DNFs, he's also had 17 on-track incidents, averaging around 0.85 incidents per race, which is the 4th most in the Cup Series. The amount of times Gragson hit the tire barrier at the Chicago street race was just laughable. But do you want to guess who the driver with the most incidents is? It's Gragson's teammate, Eric Jones. But wait, how could Eric Jones have fallen off so badly after a great 2022? Well, I think this should answer everyone's suspicions. In May, Legacy announced that they would be switching to Toyota in 2024. Jimmy Johnson on a Toyota team? What is going on? The team had a major loss in speed, and along with many sponsors leaving the team as well, something was going on behind the scenes. It's not a stretch to say that Chevy cut off a lot of manufacturer support from the team, so by switching to Toyota, Legacy Motor Club was doing what they thought was the best way to improve. Both of their drivers had previously driven for Toyota, so there was already some familiarity. Knowing that the rest of 2023 was going to be rough for Gragson and the team, they knew they just had to get through the year and prepare for 2024, but it would only get worse. During the race at Gateway, Noah Gragson would have a brake rotor failure, crashing hard into the turn 1 wall. In his post-race interview, he appeared confused as he referenced the off-season when talking about his upcoming off week.
I'm going to probably one of my favorite places next week, Sonoma, and then I've been counting down the days till this off-season.
A couple days later, it was announced that Gragson had suffered a concussion and that he would miss the race at Sonoma. And since his return, he has not finished better than 22nd. Aside from the on-track losses, Gragson would continue to lose off the track, as he got punched in the face by Ross Chastain after being the one to approach him, and losing a bet that would force him to sport one of the goofiest haircuts I've ever seen. But his biggest loss would come from doing something that the average person does on a regular basis: scrolling through Instagram and liking memes. On the week of the Cup Series race at Michigan, a screenshot began to surface on social media showing a racist meme mocking the murder of George Floyd. On the bottom of the screen, where it shows who has liked the video, it said Noah Gragson. Now, I shouldn't have to explain why this is offensive, but even if I did, there's going to be plenty of people in the comments saying otherwise, keeping their heads in the sand, so I'm just going to save my breath. At most, I was expecting Gragson to receive a fine and some sensitivity training, but boy did I underestimate this one. On August 5th, the morning before the Cup race, Legacy Motor Club announced that they would be suspending Noah Gragson indefinitely, and a few hours later, NASCAR would follow up with their own indefinite suspension. Noah Gragson's rookie season had just gone from bad to worse to being pretty much over, as a few days later, Legacy would officially part ways with Gragson. And though I applaud Legacy for taking action on this, An indefinite suspension seems a bit harsh. Once you remember that professional sports is a business, and that no sponsor wants to be associated with someone who's liking edgy George Floyd memes, then it makes a lot more sense. Like, bro, you gotta be smarter than that. You got Wendy's and Hurley as your sponsors. Like, you literally fumbled the biggie bag. But honestly, it kind of feels like the team was just looking for a reason to get rid of him. About a week earlier, NASCAR journalist Jordan Bianchi reported on the possibility of Legacy replacing Noah Gragson with Xfinity Series star John Hunter Nemechek for 2024. This obviously has Toyota written all over it, as Nemechek is Toyota's top prospect and has lit up the Xfinity Series this season. Toyota's biggest problem has been their lack of seats available for the deep prospect pool, so by adding another 2-car team, they now have more seats to fill. Nemechek is their guy, and even if Legacy really loved Gragson, Toyota is going to have a lot of influence now, and Gragson hasn't really given them a reason to be excited. So with Gragson likely out, and Martin Truex Jr. confirmed to stay in the 19 for another year at JGR, the 42 is basically John Hunter Nemechek's ride to lose. And who knows where Noah Gragson goes from here. Maybe he'll go to Kaulig, but I honestly doubt he'll be in the Cup Series next season. Kyle Larson was able to bounce back from his incident to go to Hendrick because he's an amazing Cup Series driver. We have yet to see any flashes of greatness from Gragson in Cup, so I think he'll go back down to Xfinity, try to regain his confidence, and see if any Cup teams are willing to give him a second chance in the future. I hope he learns from his mistakes and takes this time to become a better person and get in a better mental state. But until then, there isn't really much else to say about Noah Gragson. So now, let's take a look at the other abysmal rookie seasons and see where Gragson stacks up against them. In 2003, Casey Mears replaced Jimmy Spencer in the 41 car at Chip Ganassi Racing. I made a full video discussing Target and Chip Ganassi's history in racing, so if you want more details about Casey Mears, it's right here. His 2003 season was really bad. No top 10s, with his best finish being 15th, just 7 lead lap finishes, an average finish of 30th, and a 35th place points finish. Mears would improve in 2004 though, allowing him to stay with Ganassi for a few more seasons. While Sterling Marlin had a career resurgence for the all-new Chip Ganassi Racing in 2001, his rookie teammate Jason Leffler really struggled. He somehow managed one top 10 and a pole at Kansas, but those were the only highlights from Leffler that year. Leffler failed to qualify for 5 races, had just 7 lead lap finishes, 8 DNFs, a 27.7 average finish, and a 37th place finish in the standings. Leffler would be released from the team in 2002 and would bounce around until he found his footing in the Xfinity Series a few years later. For many of the younger viewers, you've probably never heard of Andy Houston, and that's for valid reasons. In 2001, Houston was signed to PPI Motorsports to drive the 96 McDonald's Ford after an impressive 2000 season in the Truck Series. However, his rookie cup campaign was far from impressive, as Houston had 8 DNQs, 9 DNFs, and an average finish of 32.4. After race 28, he was 43rd in points, and McDonald's pulled their sponsorship from the team, forcing the 96 to shut down. After this, Andy Houston never raced in the Cup Series again. This one might be a bit harsh, but considering the expectations, the team he drove for, and how his career turned out, I don't think this one's a stretch. Casey Atwood was one of the most hyped prospects in NASCAR history. At the time, he was the youngest pole and race winner in the Xfinity Series, and by the age of 20, he moved to the Cup Series full-time to drive for the new Evernham Motorsports in the number 19 Dodge, with legend Bill Elliott as his teammate. While Elliott thrived in 2001, Atwood crumbled, as he would score just 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, 6 DNFs, just 9 lead lap finishes, and a 26th place points finish. Atwood somehow regressed in 2002 and never raced in the Cup Series again. So as you can see, Noah Gragson's rookie season pretty much stacks up with some of the worst rookie seasons of all time. And with his recent social media controversy, it just makes sense for Legacy to move on from him. But keep in mind, he's just 24 years old and has shown that he's a talented race car driver. Even in his limited Cup Series starts for Kaulig in 2022, he got himself a top 5 at Daytona and finished 11th at Vegas when he filled in for Alex Bowman. I hope he gets his act together because he can be good for the sport. He's got a bright personality and NASCAR needs more drivers like him. without the racism, obviously. But that's going to do it. Comment down below where you think Noah Gragson will go next, and who do you think has the worst rookie season in NASCAR history? Thanks for watching. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.